Welcome to Dacey's Divas. Hi, I'm your host, Dacey. March is Women's History Month. In honor of that, we kick it off with a true diva out there making a difference for so many young youths, especially women. She has helped mentor, motivate, educate, and inspire through her ministry work and her volunteerism. And please welcome my exceptional niece, Demetra Zouzas. Hi, Demetra.
Hi.
I am so proud of you, the young woman that you have become. All of your siblings, you have 4 siblings.
Yes.
And they have all accomplished so much at such a young age.
Yes.
And they've all taken different paths and different directions. And I admire your direction that you have taken, your faith, your determination. You have done so well at such a young age. I mean, I'm talking at a very young age.
Right.
So let the viewers know first a little bit about who you are, and then we're going to talk about all the good things that you've done.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
So I grew up in, our big family, 4 siblings, and in college, I think is really when I started to learn about the volunteer work that I want to get involved in. And I went to Fitchburg State originally thinking, okay, I'm gonna become a high school English teacher. And then I got involved with a sorority. And in the sorority, we did so much of giving back to the community around us, philanthropic work, leading by values. What does it mean to be a woman of character? And that just led into every other part of my life. And so that's kind of what motivated me to want to get involved in the camping ministry that we grew up going to, the Metropolis of Boston camp. I ended up being a staff member there for years, and then I just finished my term as girls director for 4 years. And then through that kind of led me into the career path that I'm in now with an organization called Orthodox Volunteer Corps. So it was like these little parts of my life that I got involved in, and then that is kind of what led me to where I'm at now.
I know you were amazing with your sorority. You did do so much, because I would always follow all of the, and it just brought you out. It built self-confidence in you. And how important was that?
It was so important. I think going into college, I really didn't know what to expect. I was thinking of education, but I had no idea what else was out there. And then once I got involved with a group of young women who were giving back to the community around them, it made me realize what it's like to become a part of something so much bigger than yourself. And so through that, I was just so inspired by that community and that environment that I wanted to keep that with me throughout year after year and everything that I did. And so it was something super inspiring. I was not expecting it going into college. I never thought of sorority life. And then I just saw how transformative it could be.
I was happy for you. I'm like, good for Demetra. So, and that, then, you, though, with the camp, we'll go back to the camp. You started there going to the camp.
I did.
At what age?
I was 10 years old when I started going. And so my siblings and I, we were all campers. They are cousins.
And where is the camp, if people don't know?
It's in Contacook, New Hampshire, which is about a half hour outside of Concord. It's called the Metropolis of Boston camp. So it's our camping ministry within the Greek Orthodox Archdiocese of Boston. And so the purpose of it is to bring Orthodox Christians together in a place where we can all relate to one another. So growing up as an Orthodox Christian, it's kind of what I would say a spiritual minority. Not a lot of people around us are Orthodox Christians. And so it allows youth and young adults a space where we can really grow in our faith for people who connect on the faith, just like us.
And it wasn't just about learning your faith and religion. It was fun.
It was so much fun. It's on a beautiful lakeside view. We had so many different sports games, arts and crafts, and then also just forming the bond with other campers in the cabin. I met some of my best friends there. I'm gonna be the maid of honor in one of my friends from camp coming up in her wedding in June. And so it really just built a whole community around us.
And now your sisters also helped volunteer there at a young age. And they met friends there. I think your other sister met Stefan there.
So Julia met her husband when they were there. I think it was her first or second year on staff they met there.
Which is great. Married happily. And so then you turned into going to camp volunteer. What age were you when you started volunteering there?
I was my first year after college. So the summer going into my sophomore year of college, I started volunteering there the whole summer to be a cabin staff member. And so that's when I started to become with other co-staff, we were leading young girls. We had about campers of...
And what age?
They're 8 to 18 years old.
Wow,
in the
good for you.
cabins, I would have our youngest cabin would be like 8 to 11 years old, and the ages would kind of be broken up by a couple years. And so every week I was with a different age group. So it was so much fun just learning about where are they at developmentally, what do they understand about the faith, and how are they able to take this fun environment and immerse themselves in this fun environment, but then also to understand how their faith can lead them throughout their lives.
And you were a young girl at the time too.
Yeah, I was 19 when I started.
And there you were, motivating, educating, inspiring, mentoring, and that's an amazing, I mean, you should be so proud of yourself just doing that. Tell me, you used to tell me some stories, I remember, like some good stories. Tell me one of your favorite stories as a young girl working there, volunteering there.
Oh my goodness. So one of my favorite stories, and I was just talking to this camper, so it really is a full circle moment. My first year on staff back in 2016, I had our Joy age group. So our Joy age group is the youngest age group. They're 8 to 11 years old. And these girls are just, they're so cute. They're so much fun to hang around. I love this age group. And my first year on staff, in my first Joy cabin, we had 14 of these girls, and it was me and 2 other co-staff members. And the 3 of us, it was all of our first year on staff. So we were kind of figuring it out together. We were like, okay, we know what we're doing, but we're still learning so much at the same time. And there was this one girl who was super spunky, had a ton of energy in the cabin. She was like this little 9-year-old girl. And her and I grew pretty close that week. And so we started, she was this super girly girl. And so throughout camp, we would do this game where we would count to 3 and then we would strike a pose anywhere we were at camp. So we would be like, 1, 2, 3, strike a pose just super randomly. And it was those little moments where it was such a small thing, but all these years later, her and I remember that. And so she's graduating high school now, and she was just telling me that as of 2 days ago, she submitted her staff application to serve on staff this summer. And so it was one of those full circle moments where I just remember this 9-year-old girl, super spunky, and just so much fun to embrace your inner child in a way. And then she's applying to be on staff. So it's really one of those special core memories.
And that's a great story, and you'll always remember that, but she'll see what an inspiration that you were, that you meant to her. Okay, so now, where did we go from there? You taught, you did education.
Yes.
Then you volunteered. So now what was the next phase in your life?
Yeah, so throughout college, I was getting to the end of my college career, and I realized I was just falling in love with the field of higher education. So between being involved with sorority life, being involved at Fitchburg State's campus, working every summer with so many young adults, I was like, you know what, instead of teaching high school, I think I want to go into higher education. So that's what my next step led me. I ended up going to graduate school at Fitchburg State. I worked there for 2 years. And then I ended up really, with ministry work being more of a side thing at the time, I was working full-time in higher education. And then that eventually led me to college and career counseling.
And then you worked at quite a few great establishments.
Yes, so I worked at Suffolk University for a year in their admissions
Your father, my alma mater, right?
Yes, and then I worked at
Yep.
the Excel Academy Charter High School in East Boston and their college and career, college access and post-secondary success office. And so that was really one of my favorite, most inspiring jobs that I had before I made the shift into ministry. I feel like at that high school, I was surrounded by just brilliant educators, brilliant college and career counselors that were really just making a difference in the lives of first-generation students and helping so many families find access to an education or to a career. And I was so inspired every single day by them.
Do you have a great story out of that? Anything that really touched you?
Yeah, so when I worked at the school, I was teaching college and career seminar classes. And my second year there was this class with a lot of personalities in this classroom. So I was working mainly with juniors, and these juniors, they had a lot of personalities. And at the beginning of the year, it was a hard group to kind of build a relationship with and build their trust. But then eventually, throughout the year, we really developed where it went from not really getting along or butting heads with the students and trying to figure out, okay, how do I navigate this dynamic to we ended up getting really, really close. And so when my contract with the school was coming to an end, we were actually really sad that it was all coming to an end. And so this year I plan on going to their graduation and kind of checking in to see how things are going with them. But it was one of those moments where initially it was hard to build that relationship, but then I just saw them grow so much over the course of the year.
Before we get to the next step, let's show a few pictures from recently. Because it was your last hurrah, correct?
Yes, it was.
So Pete, you have a few pictures. Okay, now tell me a little bit about this picture.
So this photo was a weekend in February. It's our winter camp. And so Metropolis Boston Camp has fall camp and winter camp sessions during the long weekend. So this was during President's Day weekend, and it was my last weekend as the girls director.
I know,
so
you sent me those pictures.
As I've been, so for the past 4 years, I've been serving every session as girls director. And so that means that I'm pretty much the point person for all of the females on staff and all of the girls that come through as campers.
Huge.
And so
job.
We have dozens of staff members, hundreds of campers that come through. And so I work with an amazing leadership team where we help mentor and guide and train our staff members, and then the rest of the campers as well. And so that is me leading one of our Orthodox life sessions, and the photo that's on my right and the photo that's on the left is a photo of me in front of a monastery in Finland, actually, where I went on a pilgrimage there. And so I was exploring the Orthodox Church in Finland, and that was more recently right after I started my new job. So it was these moments of starting a new career in ministry, which is really what my time as girls director inspired me to do. And then that's what led me to pursuing what is Orthodoxy like in other countries. And so these photos are
great.
That's another one of me and a bunch of girls from the camp. And so that is just during one of the meal times. Those were with our SNAP age girls. So those are like early middle school age. And so that was out during the mealtime. And then the previous photos, the first one was from my last day as girls director. We took a girls group photo together.
That's nice. And like you mentioned, not only Finland, you have gone to Greece.
Yes.
What other countries have you gone, and you've done a lot of this ministry work?
Yeah, so I have been to Greece. Our camp has this beautiful partnership with the Metropolis of Neapoli in northern Greece, where they send 20 of their staff members over to us, and then we send 20 of our staff members over to them. And so we get to give them an experience at our camp where we will host them for a week at our camp. They'll be immersed in the program, and then we'll take them around New England a week after. And then when we go over there, it's very similar, where we will spend a week at their camp. And then the next week, they'll take us around Thessaloniki, which is around where the camps are located. And so, I mean, I went on that exchange program this past summer, and we were with the girls camp, and it was an incredible experience. I mean, they were such amazing young girls spending a week immersing themselves in their culture and their faith, and they welcomed us with so much hospitality, and it was really the best experience.
And that's where Brendan and Samantha and Sophia,
yes,
Auntie Tanya, your godmother,
yes,
had her children all went to, they loved that experience.
Loved it. Oh,
yes.
I love Thessaloniki. Such a beautiful city, such warm people, and it was really an experience that I'll never forget.
And you loved the food, the octopus especially.
Oh my God, it was so good. Yes, the best.
Now, where do we go from here? Tell me about our new exciting news.
Yes, so after I worked at Excel for the past 2 years, my contract was on a 2-year contract, and so it ended in June, and so I knew, okay, I'm gonna be at camp for the summer, and then what do I want to do after that? And so I realized, okay, maybe I want to do campus ministry. I was feeling very drawn to the field of ministry. And so as I was going through the summer and applying to jobs, I just wasn't getting a lot of jobs. The job market is so tough right now. And then there is this nonprofit organization called the Orthodox Volunteer Corps. And so with Orthodox Volunteer Corps, we set young adults up to do a year of service in both Boston and Pittsburgh. And so the young adults who are accepted into the program, they will live in a house together in Boston and Pittsburgh, and they will work at homeless shelters, free medical clinics,
I saw that.
under-resourced school centers,
And they pick
along
the
with some
neighborhoods.
others.
They pick the neighborhoods.
Yes, and so with that, I saw this opening that the Orthodox Volunteer Corps was hiring for their 3rd full-time staff member. And Kira Limbarakis, who's our chief operating officer, I remember when I did a year of seminary at Holy Cross, she was very involved in our Crossroad Institute program, which was the ministry she was a part of before she helped co-found.
That's right. You were there too.
Yes.
You've done so much. I can't keep track.
And so Kira, when she was going through grad school, she remembers that she really wanted to do a year of service within the Orthodox Church, but that didn't exist at the time. And so she helped co-found this so that Orthodox Christians could do a year of service rooted in the Eastern Orthodox tradition. And so I saw this and I was like, this just seems like the perfect opportunity. It's working with young adults. It's in ministry. They're doing a year of service, so I could bring my college and career experience into that. And everything just fell into place where I went for the interview process. I was hired with them full time. And so now I'm working with Michael Sider-Rose. He oversees our Pittsburgh crew. And then Kira really oversees our Boston crew that we have. And in both cities, we have 7 young adults each, so 14 young adults total that are taking a year from their lives.
And what age?
21 to 29.
Wow.
And so they are taking the year to live in these houses with each other and work with very vulnerable populations of the people that are really are on the outskirts and like who need people to kind of guide them and just show them humanity and help them. And it's really inspiring what our young adults are doing.
That's very inspiring. Now, did you start yet? You haven't started yet.
No, I started in November.
Oh, you did? That's right. Okay.
I've been full-time for the past
I can't keep track of you,
couple months.
Demetra. You're here, you're there, you've done so much.
It's been a really incredible experience, and our young adults are working with such vulnerable populations. I mean, the people they meet on a daily basis are coming from the margins of society, and they are just restoring hope and humanity into them. And to just see like 21, 22-year-olds doing such intense work is so inspiring.
I'm sure.
It's incredible work that they're doing, and we're gearing up we're starting our interview processes for the next cohort for next year. So we're just excited to see where this could go.
And Pete's gonna flash your website, so if anybody wants to volunteer, they can volunteer, reach out to you. Everything is etched in stone there, correct?
Yeah, so if anyone wants to take a look, they can go to orthodoxvolunteercorps.org, and all of our information for our website is there. So if there are any nonprofit organizations that are looking to partner with us, we would love to get involved with getting our young adults involved with their organizations. And then if anyone would like to just learn more about us, they can go to that website. That's and great. All of our information is there.
So you're so happy, I can tell.
Yes,
you love this job, but you always loved your jobs. You loved
always
everything.
Loved it. Yeah, like everything that I do, I am one of the people where it really doesn't matter what type of job I have. If I feel called to the mission, I will put 100% of my
I know you do. You put 101.
Yeah, and so if I believe in the mission, it doesn't matter what job it is, I'll always give my best effort. So between Tri Sigma, between Fitchburg State, between Excel Academy, I mean, I've just truly loved the people I've worked with, and they've all inspired me. They've all paved such a path for me. And so between Metropolis of Boston and just everything has really just led me into the path that I'm in now. And I absolutely love it.
And that, like you said, you have brought a peace, and that's what made you here today.
Yes.
To where you are. If you had a magic wand, what would you wish for the young women out there today,
Oh my goodness, that's such a good question. I would say for them to just recognize that they have so much to offer, and everybody brings something different to the table. And so I think as girls and young women, it's so easy to get caught up in this comparison of, well, she's doing this and she's doing that. But what I've realized in my role as girls director is everyone brings such unique abilities and qualities to the table. And so I just wish that every young girl could see that within herself, that she has such amazing things to offer.
I love that. For a woman who's a role model.
I think, oh my goodness. In my personal life, I would say like both of my yayas are like probably my biggest inspirations. I think for women as a whole, I think it's so important to see the people in your life who are just in your corner and who want the best for you. It's the people who hold you accountable when you do something wrong and point you into the direction of overcoming your mistakes. Those are the people to always look up to. And I think that every woman should really embrace that in in their own lives.
I love that. And the yayas are your Yaya
that's
Porta,
Tina, and
my
Yaya
mother.
Porta. Yeah, so your mother, and then Yaya Porta, my mom's mother. And they are just amazing. I mean, I feel so lucky where I grew up so close to all my grandparents, and they are just hands down like the matriarchs of our family and have just had the biggest impact, I think.
Plus your mom
Yes.
is a go-to mom. She's
Oh my God,
raised 5
yeah.
children.
Yes.
You have 3 wonderful sisters.
Yes.
That are all inspirational and they've all done very well.
Amazing work, yeah. And amazing aunts too. I feel like in our family, we just grew up with just such strong women on both my mom's and dad's side of the family. I feel like we were just surrounded by like just amazing women. And I've always had that as an example.
And we are very blessed, all of us.
Definitely.
Where do we go from here, Demetra?
Well, I am going to be working full-time with Orthodox Volunteer Corps. And so as I transition into this role more full-time, I'm going to be taking a step back from my role as girls director with the camp. And I'll be offering more of like I'm going to be offering more of like a mentorship or big sister role and just help guide them in any way I can. But I am taking a step back, and there's a girl, Katerina Barbas, who will be stepping in as the next girls director, and she's going to do phenomenal work. And so I'm excited to see where things go from here. And as of last night, actually, I met with the Tri Sigma chapter at Fitchburg State. So I'm going to be an advisor for them now and helping guide them on this.
That's amazing.
So
Good
with
for
these
you.
new transitions, I'm finding ways to take the new capacity that I have to continue my work with young women.
By helping everyone and young women and being so committed and dedicated to the communities.
Yes.
How do you find a balance? Do you have a balance?
I do. I think, everything has a season, and I think it's important that no matter what we have on our plates, there's just a season for everything. Some days I put all of my work and heart and soul into our camping ministry because that's what the time calls for. And then other days it's with Tri Sigma, other days it's with Orthodox Volunteer Corps. I think there's no way to perfectly balance everything. I think the days where I have to give my heart and soul to one organization, maybe those are the days where other organizations may lack my attention, but that's how I'm able to continue contributing my all, is just what are the needs and how can I give my 100% into the current needs of what the organization has.
Well, you are simply outstanding, Demetra, and I'm so proud of you. We're wrapping up. Is there anything else that you would like to say?
I would just like to say, first off, thank you for having me on here. It's been amazing.
Yes.
And I just think that any young woman out there should know that they have so much to offer, so much to give. And if anyone is looking to understand more about the ministry work that we do, head to orthodoxvolunteercorps.org or metropolisbostoncamp.org, and they can see the amazing work that these organizations do.
Well, I have to give you my traditional Godiva chocolate.
Oh my goodness,
for the
thank
diva and
you.
you. I have to thank you for coming out.
Keep
on inspiring, educating, and helping so many.
Much.
And if anyone knows an extraordinary diva like Demetra Zouzas, please, again, reach out to her, reach out to us here at the studio. We want to wish you a very great spring coming up.
Yes.
Happy Women's Month, right?
Yes.
And please stay tuned and thank you for watching Dacey's Divas. I will see you soon.